a strike that stunned the world. For the first time in history, Israel targeted Hamas leaders, not in Gaza, but in Qatar, a wealthy Gulf nation once seen as a safe haven for diplomacy. The question now is simple. Was this a masterstroke against terrorism, or a dangerous gamble that could set the Middle East on fire? On September 9, 2025, Israel launched a bold and controversial operation in the heart of Doha. The target, Hamas's political leadership, including senior negotiator Khalil al-Hayya. While some Hamas figures were killed, others survived. But the impact of this strike went far beyond its immediate casualties. It set off a chain reaction, testing alliances, shaking global diplomacy, and threatening to derail fragile peace talks. Tonight, we uncover the full story, the strike, the fallout, and the future of a region already on the edge. To understand this strike, we must understand the role Qatar has played in the Palestinian conflict. For over a decade, Doha has hosted Hamas's political bureau. Leaders lived, met, and negotiated here, under the watchful eye of Qatar's monarchy. For Israel, this was always a bitter pill. They saw terrorists being given luxury offices and international legitimacy. But for the world, especially the United States and Egypt, Qatar was useful. A middle ground, a host for secret backroom talks that sometimes prevented wars. Late at night, the skies over Doha lit up. A precision strike targeted a Hamas meeting. Reports claim it happened near a compound where officials were discussing possible ceasefire frameworks. In moments, walls collapsed, cars burned, and chaos spread through the capital. Within hours, Qatar condemned the strike as a violation of sovereignty. Arab states echoed the anger, warning that such an attack threatened regional stability. Russia's foreign ministry called it a gross violation of international law. Egypt, already struggling to broker peace, said the strike could collapse ongoing negotiations. At the United Nations, an emergency session was called. Western diplomats expressed concern, while Israel defended the operation as a necessary step against terrorism. The United States, Israel's closest ally, admitted it had been informed in advance of the strike, but the reaction in Washington was complicated. President Trump expressed his disapproval, saying he was very unhappy and warning that the strike did not serve America's interests. For Washington, the issue was not just about Hamas. It was about American hostages, fragile ceasefire talks, and its role as a global mediator. In private, U.S. officials feared the strike could ignite a wider conflict and drag America back into the Middle East fire. For ordinary people, the strike meant fear. In Gaza, families feared retaliation would bring new bombings. In Israel, hostage families worried that negotiations were now doomed. In Qatar, citizens were shocked that their wealthy, modern capital had become a battlefield. This was not the first time Israel struck far beyond its borders. From assassinations in Lebanon to raids in Tunisia, Israel has long pursued its enemies abroad. But Qatar is different. It's not a war zone. It's a global hub, home to U.S. military bases and international diplomacy. By hitting Doha, Israel didn't just attack Hamas. It challenged the unwritten rules of international politics. And in doing so, it forced the world to ask, how far is too far? For Israel, Hamas cannot be allowed to operate freely in luxury while planning attacks. For Hamas, the strike is proof that Israel will never accept peace. For Qatar, it is an insult, a strike on its soil, and a threat to its sovereignty. The strike in Doha raises dangerous questions. Will Hamas retaliate? Will Qatar cut ties with Israel and the U.S.? Will the fragile peace talks collapse, or will the shock force all sides back to the table? One thing is certain, this was not just an attack on Hamas. It was an attack on diplomacy itself. and the consequences are only beginning to unfold. The Doha strike will be remembered as a turning point, whether it leads to more chaos or a new chance for peace. Only history will decide. What do you think? Was Israel justified in striking Hamas leaders in Qatar, or was it a reckless move that could destroy